So let me know when you're ready.
You're live, you're good.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2020/21 high school football banquet, award ceremony, I should say. This is the first time I've done this in an auditorium, spaced out like this. My 24 years of doing this, so this is a little different. So Coach Troyer, he is under COVID protocol, and so he is going to speak to us here in a little bit. He's doing fine, he's feeling well, and so that kind of throws a little bit of a wrench into it too. But you know, we had this set up, so we need to go ahead and just stick with the date. We didn't want to keep pushing it back, obviously. We're already into January, so anyway, I'm glad you guys came out, and you know, just from kind of just a little bit with the staff here, myself, Coach Troyer, chilling there in his chair. He's watching the game, you know he is. You might see him every once in a while throw something. So, you know, obviously Coach Bond, Coach Preston Troyer, Coach Falgren, Coach Morgan, and Coach Tiroff, they make up the nucleus of our staff. And then, you know, we have a lot of other people that help out as well with filming and stats and so forth, so to make it all work. So just in general, you know, great season. It was a sure joy just to get the opportunity to go ahead and proceed week to week. That's really kind of how we lived. We kind of lived on a little bit, as you guys well know, parents. I know you rode this a little bit. The players did the roller coaster, so to speak. You know, one week we were like this. I think we're going to play. Then it kind of come down a little bit, and it get a little sketchy. You know, on that Monday or Tuesday. But we always managed every week to find somebody to play, and we got to play every week. So that was a blessing in itself, and it was just fun. I mean, it was just enjoyable, and you know, our staff and myself. Regardless, you know, the winning, yes, the winning that makes it very enjoyable. But you know, obviously, I've done this long enough, and these guys have too, that you don't always have all those wins, and so. You know, you have to kind of fall back on what it is you're trying to get across to your team, and I think with Coach Troyer's guidance, you know, I think the kids get the message that there's, you know, more to it than football, obviously, and it's about setting them up for life, and you know, we had a good group of guys to work with. It makes it a lot easier on us, that's for sure. So what I'll do is what we'll do is when we call your name, guys, we're just going to have you stand up where you're at, and we'll talk a little bit about you. And at the end, we'll have all the players can come down and get certificates and whatever awards are yours, okay? So we'll just wait till the end. And we'll just kind of go down through it. Then we'll come back, and we'll kind of talk about some of the awards and some of the unique things that happened this year. And we'll give each coach an opportunity to talk a little bit about their players. So first off, for me, let's start off with this guy right here. My glasses are fogging up a little bit, so I'm struggling here. Jared Lowe, stand up. Just hold your applause here. I know you want to clap for this guy. J. Lowe, otherwise known as J. Lowe. J. Lowe. So he started for us on the offensive side last year. This is his first year where he started on both sides of the ball consistently throughout the season, and you know, did a tremendous job. on the offensive line. He's kind of the glue that held us together. He was our guy that made the calls up front, communicated. He is the one that had the most experience, and he could kind of see the things and had a knowledge base already from previous experience. And then, defensively, honestly, I was a little not nervous, but I was a little bit of a question mark about, would he be able to hold up playing both ways, this being his first year doing this, and he did that with no problem at all. And, he got in on defense and plugged up some gaps for us and allowed those linebackers to run around. He was, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or supposed to wait, but he was, you guys know this, but he was honorable mention All-State on the offensive line. Jared did a great job for us, and he made it through this year. No injuries. I had a little bit of a scare, but he knew it was nothing. He was all right. So I was glad to see that. He stayed healthy and was very productive. And I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him up front, and wish you the best, bud. Jared Lowe, let's give him applause. Devin Sleekle. Stand up, Devin. Devin's a junior. He plays on special teams. He is a linebacker, and he's a running back. And he primarily took a lot of reps for us this year. Linebacker, from a sophomore to junior, made some good strides, improved. I think the biggest thing with him is just he's starting to understand the game a little bit more, and I felt like he got better in his pass drops and understanding where he needs to be on the field with that, and works hard. He's bought into the weight room, and I think the biggest thing about Devin, he knows this, is on the academic side has really shown this previous semester. And he would tell you he had a little bumpy ride, as many of us do. Okay, when we first started in high school. That's the biggest thing. The thing I'm most proud about him is that he's turned it around in the classroom. He's going to continue to do so, and he's going to be there for us. And he's going to be a guy we're going to count on big time for next year. He's the same way I talked about Jared. He's going to have to, Devin's going to, he's going to have to step up and play both sides of the ball, and we know he can do that. And so, he's always had a little bit of different. He's a little bit of a spunky guy. He's got a little bit of a flair to him, and I enjoy that, and he brings that to the field. So we appreciate everything you did this year for us, Devin. Thank you. Give him a round of applause. Andrew Colbert. Andrew's a junior, also a linebacker, position coach. He plays tailback for us, and he started for us at linebacker this year, and got numerous reps along the same lines, and made great strides, tremendous improvement. He played a little bit as a sophomore some for us. He got some game time action, and then this year really stepped it up and was solid for us at linebacker. Had a little bit of an injury for a while, and Devin filled in tremendously when he was out, and then Andrew came back and played out the season well. He's sticking up. He's looking like a linebacker now. Knowing that we may have to move him to fullback if we have a fullback. I guess we don't. We can make one.
Yeah.
But Andrew is a great young man. He is a young man that. So when he was a freshman, me and my Boogie boys, so we'd be away from something, and I'd be, hey, Colbert or whatever. This would be Andrew. He'd just look down at the ground like he didn't want to make eye contact. And so I was always like, look, make eye contact, look me in the eyes, And so I always remember that about a freshman. So he's growing up as a young man. He looks you square in the eyes now, yes sir, no sir, and he's a great addition to have on our football team. He come in, got a few reps at some running back at the time. He was kind of the thunder of our. Coach Troy, remember we had the lightning and thunder. He was our thunder. So we put him in and let him lower his shoulders and try to run over some dudes. So same thing, Andrew's he's gonna continue to work hard, and he's gonna be a valuable part B-Mar is also a linebacker and played some unattached tight end position for us this year. And he was obviously a new addition to us. And the biggest thing about B-Mar, I'll tell you right now, is he's a great young man. He's a guy of solid character. He's a good student. And he's one, these guys, like many of them are, but they're great people to coach and teach, to be around. Other kids see what he does and how he works and leading by example, and they pick up on that quick. And I know he came in, coming over to a new school, that's not easy. You don't know everybody. He was the one on film we were always saying, block his ass when we got ready to play Piper. So it was a little awkward, to be honest with you. He knows that. He comes in, we meet his family, meet him, and it's weird. It was weird for him a little bit, But he come in and made the best out of the situation, and got to know some of our guys, and obviously his play, you guys know, it speaks for itself. He was all over the field defensively, making tackles everywhere. Everybody in the league, in this part of the state, the whole state, they took notice. They knew. And so, I would just tell them thank you for coming over, and thank you for being a part of us and making our program better. Not just a football player, but as a human being. Okay? Best of luck to you down the road. Go get what you want, wrestling. All right? All right, man. Good job. Just making sure I got my guys I'm supposed to talk about. Okay, who's Coach Tiroff? You coming up? Right. Make sure I'm in the right spot.
You're good.
All right. First one I'm going to talk about Dallas Baum. So Dallas has started for us both sides of the ball since his sophomore year, and really just been an anchor on the offense and defense for us, something we can really count on. We need big plays to give the other team problems. As far as this year goes, defensively, 41 tackles, 10 for loss, tied for the team lead with 4 sacks and 4 fumble. Offensively, 39 catches, 542 yards, and 12 touchdowns, and also has been an important part of our special teams as a long snapper over the past 3 years. And Dallas has been a great player to coach, just in terms of a guy that he can run most of the drills we do by himself. He can take them through everything. And when you have a player like that, it's really special. And he'll be one that we'll talk about his accolades later on. But just a great player, and a great player that you want in your program, just in terms of athlete, in terms of character, everything. Checks all the boxes. So I'll give a hand to Dallas Baum. All right, next up, Tucker. So Tucker came out for his sophomore year, took his freshman year off. I think he lost a bet in basketball practice or something, and had to come out. So worked out pretty well for us in the end, getting Tucker out. And he was one defensively, we've counted on the last 2 years, playing the left defensive end for us. And someone that came in sophomore year, got some reps, and just each year got better. I think by the end of or especially this year, you didn't have to hear me yelling at you to rip or to use your hands, and just made strides there. And another one that, in terms of leadership, he could get everything going. He knew all the drills, was able to help coach up the young guys, and as a coach, that's just really important for me, just to have that as a resource to use, with both these guys. Offensively, this year, Tucker, the last 2 years, been working at tight end as well, and before the season, we had to talk with him, and a lot of guys that catch the ball or have the opportunity to catch the ball don't want to go down and put their hand on the ground and play O-line, and Tucker was more than willing to do that, and made our team better by doing that. And something that we as a coaching staff staff, we as a team appreciate that selflessness, and that's kind of just part of being that O-line. You know, you're doing your job so other people can shine, and you did a great job with that. You know, just appreciate your dedication to the team, and thank you for being a joy to coach. So, Tucker Isaacs. Logan. Logan Carter. I'll just speak briefly on Logan. Logan played DN and O-line for us this year. Started all 11 games at left tackle. Really did a nice job there, and one that is a testament just to the way that our players develop within the program in terms of just gaining every year, getting better every year, and those first 2 years it's tough to get on the field at this level, and so you have to work your way up, and he's done a great job of that in developing himself as a player and person to be someone that we can count on. Look forward to big things from him next year. Connor Cole. So Connor Cole, sophomore, came in this year and really helped us out on the O-line, just playing left guard and playing in a position where he's matched up, especially thinking back to some games, Paola especially. I mean, he's got a guy that's 2 years older than him and 120 pounds heavier than him, and still doing a great job of executing his blocks, of getting better on a week-to-week basis. And so I just look forward to seeing how Connor develops as an O-lineman over the next 2 years that we have him. As far as defensive end, had limited snaps during the year at the end, but with obviously Tucker and Dallas graduating, he's going to be someone that we're going to count on a lot defensively. Looking forward to be a key player for us next year defensively, as well as offense, which he already is. So, Connor Cole. Coach Morgan.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, hope everyone's having a good day. Let me talk about Cooper Jones first. Say that, Cooper. Hey, Cooper has been here all 3 years. You're a junior this year. You've been a great kid to coach the entire time. Cooper's what we like to call a role player. He didn't get a lot of time on Friday nights, but the time that you made on Friday nights, you made the most of it, right? But the time where you got better was in practice, okay? We would not have the W's that we have this year without you being there at practice on the defensive line, getting better for yourself, and making your offensive line better, okay? Same, vice versa. On the offense, on Scout Up, you did your stuff, you did your work, and you listened to us, okay? That's what I like about players that listen, right? They're coachable. Hey, Cooper's a great example of that. Hey, he didn't get as much time on Friday nights as some of us would have liked, but when somebody on the front five went down, he was ready to step in. Even in scout team, if I needed a receiver, Cooper, first one to be there. Okay? Can't tell, Cooper, not really a receiver type. Okay? But he was ready, he was willing to get in there every single time, and we look forward to what he can do next year. Okay? Cooper Jones. Aiden McIntosh. Stand up. Okay? Aiden was another one of these role players. Okay? He got a little bit more time on Friday nights. He made the most of his opportunities that he got in practice. Hey, he's a workhorse. He's going to do every single thing 110%, 120%. There is no stopping with Aiden McIntosh. Okay? He was very good at scout defense, going against our offensive line, so much that our offensive line didn't like him being on the other side. Okay? They wanted him to be on the offensive line, so they didn't have to go against him. Okay? He was the one that was getting a lot of people yelled at in practice, because he was able to get through, sneak through. Okay? Aiden is a great player to coach, really smart mind, and he can get after it. Okay? He's a junior this year. We look forward to him for next year. Okay? Aiden McIntosh. Connor Brew. Hey, Connor Brew, he started on offense and defense this year, both offensive and defensive line. Hey, defensive line, you were tearing it up. Hey, nobody can stop you, right? Even if you had two people on you. Man, there was one day we were looking at film in there, and you took on a double team perfectly. I don't think I ever congratulated you on that, because I was probably down to practice making people run. Okay, but good job on that. Okay, you're only a junior. You have a lot of accolades from this season, but we have a lot more space to move on with you. Okay, you're doing a lot of things right. Brew has earned the nickname Brewdog, because he's a bulldog at practice. There is no stopping him. Okay, he will do everything 1,000%, and he's not going to stop until either you're on the ground or the whistle's blown. Okay, he doesn't stop for anything. He's shorter and skinnier than a lot of other offensive and defensive linemen, but he doesn't let that stop him. Okay, and I look forward to next year. Okay, Connor Brew. The last one's Jackson Stevens. Stand up, Jackson. Hey, Jackson's a senior this year. Okay, we were really deep in a lot of his positions on offense and defense. Okay, but what makes Jackson special is that he stepped up on special teams this year. Whenever he got to touch the field on Friday nights, he made the most of it. He went 1,000%, making sure that he was going to get that tackle, making sure he was going to get that block, so he could go score one on kickoff return. Okay? He didn't get as many offensive and defensive touches as one might like, but he made the most of his opportunities this year, and he was a special teams captain this year. So what that means is that he was in charge of making sure that we had enough people for every KOR and kickoff. If we were running a different kickoff return, he was in charge of it. If the ball went up and to the left, he was the one that had to yell, left, left, left. Hey, he was the rock of our special teams this year because he was our captain. Hey, we're going to miss coaching you. We're going to miss you here. Come back and see us. Jackson Stevens. Coach Dahlgren.
All right. Welcome, guys. So I coach receivers and corners here. I just want to start off by saying I had the pleasure of coaching the best wide receiving corps in our league. If you look at the guys that we have in our wide receiver group, we have 8 to 10 guys that in our group that could go to any school in our league and start. Okay, so we had, I remember at the beginning of the season, I was looking at a little team and like, man, this is gonna be tough, you know. What's nice is we're gonna be able to rotate guys. Everyone's gonna be able to be fresh. We're gonna be so awesome at our wide receiver corps. So we have a lot of depth, and some guys, you know, they went into practice every day fighting for their position. They want to be able to play Friday night. So that's what's awesome. We're able to do that. So I'm gonna start off. First guy I want to talk about is Will Washington. So Will hasn't played football for us. He came out, he's a senior, so he came out senior year to play football. That in and of itself is tough. He knows nothing about what we do, and so him trying to pick it up over the summer and learn as much as he can, and again, going up against the guys that I just talked about who have played football and how deep our wide receiving group is, it was tough. But you know what? He never backed down. He came into practice every single day. Trying to get better. He would come and ask me questions, and he would stand at my side and ask if he could get in, and ask if he could get in. And this is like practice and stuff too. While I don't even hear him sometimes because we're so focused. But anytime I was right there and needed somebody, Will's right there. It's like, Will, go, get in. We need someone in there. He's there. That's what's awesome. And you know, when Will had any opportunity, he took it. So and that's the attitude that we like to have. So, Will Washington. Next is James Eaton. So James played 2 years for us. This is the senior, so this is the second year. James has made huge improvements for us. You know, I always tell the story with James, but last year as a junior, he was really raw and just like didn't have a whole lot of football knowledge. He knew football in general, but some specific things he didn't really know. There was one game on JV last year that I think it was a kick return, and the ball's getting ready to bounce out of bounds, and instead of letting it go out of bounds and we get a penalty, or that other team gets a penalty and we get the ball up, he dives and saves it, knocks the ball in, and almost allows the other team to recover it. And then you go from that to now, where the football knowledge that he has gained, where he's able to start at receiver for us and have 14 receptions for 241 yards, 1 touchdown, surprisingly, 1 pancake block. But going from that, and I think you just committed to Highland, right, for football? I mean, that's huge improvement. And, you know, that's what we look for every day. Every day in the summer when he's there, he's trying to compete with people. He didn't want anyone to be faster than him. He just wanted to prove that he was the best at what he does. So and that's the great attitude that we need. So thank you, James. Bodie Strauss. So Bodie came last year. I think you were here last year, right? Like for your first year. So he's a senior now, and so this is his second year with us. He has made huge improvements from last year to this year. When summer began for us, we started doing all our speed work. All of a sudden, he just shows up and he's blazing fast compared to what he was last year. I'm wondering, who is this kid? And so I'm just thinking last year how much slower he was and how much work he put in just to really get to that next level to where we needed him to be so he could play for us Friday nights. He really did a great job. He had 13 receptions for 174 yards. He also, on defense, he had 2 tackles and he had a pass deflection too. And I know we always joke in practice with him and James, they're good friends and they always competed every day in practice, getting each other's head. And then that game that James scored a touchdown first before Bodie is a big deal, right? So, but that kind of attitude is what we like. And what's really nice is Bodie really came through for us. He provided us a lot of different things that I honestly didn't know, didn't expect that he would be able to do for us if you would ask him last year. And so, thank you, Bodie, for all your hard work and allowing me to coach you. Bodie. CJ Van An. So I've known CJ since his sophomore year, but just from talking to the other coaches like in the past and stuff, they've explained how much improvement he's made since freshman year, but I can only speak from sophomore year, just in terms of speed and everything, just knowledge and all that. He's made huge improvements. It was unfortunate last year. I know he got hurt his knee and stuff. It kind of set him back a little bit from what he could have done last year too. But you know what? He never looked back, never made excuses, anything like that. And he was always there asking what he could do to get better. Every day in the summer, he's coming to talk to me after practice and things like that, saying, "Hey, Coach, I'm just wanting to know what can I do to make myself better, both offense and defense." And so I'm giving him specific advice of what he can do. And he really takes it to heart because he would work on it. And anytime we needed somebody, he's hopping in there to help us out on scout defense or scout offense or anything like that. He never complained. And that's what's so awesome about CJ too is, you know, he's there to help out in whatever way he can. And kind of like what Coach Morgan said too with role players. CJ played special teams for us. I know on kickoff, I think he played every single game on kickoff for me. So that's how much I trust him. And so thank you, CJ. It was a pleasure. Jacob Maxwell. So Maxwell, throughout his sophomore year all the way to now, he's played 3 different positions on defense, right? Started off strong, then we moved to 1 corner spot, and then we moved to another corner spot, and then we moved back to the other corner spot a little bit. He can play a lot of things on defense. That's what's awesome with Maxwell is just the way that he conducts himself on defense. He's fast, and you know, if you had asked me his sophomore year if he would have been able to be a starting corner for us, I probably would have said no. Just because I don't think he would have had that attitude that he would want to go up and make any plays. He would kind of let them probably catch the ball and hopefully make a tackle or just dive with their feet, right? But you know what? Over time, he started getting so much better, and last year he ended up starting for us, right? And that's huge in terms of improvement. And so I've had the pleasure to know him in my group for 2 years because I was able to talk to coaches last year into moving him from strong to corner, so I could coach him, and he provided some some great play for us on defense. Maxwell this year has 24 tackles. He had 1 interception and 3 pass deflections. And you know what? If I would ask him to go play any other position on defense, he wouldn't have a problem. He can get out there and do what he can to learn it, and he wouldn't even bat an eye. So, thank you, Maxwell. Jackson McWilliams. Jackson's a freshman. I also teach at the middle school, and I had Jackson, I think, a couple of years ago when he was in 7th grade, and I just knew then he was a soccer player. I talked to him then, hey Jackson, when you get to high school, you should come kick for a football team. And he's like, okay. Well, that was a couple of years ago, and I was thinking, whatever, just saying it. But you know what? He came out, and he really showed what he could do. As a freshman, the best kicker I've seen, or that I've actually coached, and that I've actually seen on a team that I played for or coached. So, and what's nice, he's only a freshman. So a few things for Jackson. He was 3rd on our team in total points scored with 57 points. The 2 people he is behind was Tyler and Dallas. So, I mean, that right there, that's quite a few points. He was 48 for 50 on extra points, and the 2 that he didn't make were blocked. So he didn't miss them, they were blocked. He was 3 for 4 on field goals, and you'll find out here later, I mean, he has some awards that he's won. He already knows those. We'll go over those in a little bit. But you know what? He never did anything that, if we asked him, whatever we asked him to do, he would go do. Okay, he's like, Coach, what do you need from me today? Let's go do this. And I know some of the things that we would have him do, he didn't really understand at the beginning. So he never played football before, right? And so this is just the beginning for him. So trying to get some of that football knowledge into his head too to help him kick. I mean, that was big. And he was always out there, and I know Daniel was always with him and stuff. And what's funny is sometimes in practice, I would hear him and Daniel talking about our offensive plays, and they'd be talking. I'd be so surprised that as kickers, it's not their job, to know the offense, but they were out there learning it sometimes. And I thought it was really funny that he probably knows some of the our offense better than a few guys on our team, to be honest. Just funny to me. But Jackson's always out there working hard, trying to get better. And I know sky's the limit. So as a freshman, I expect bigger things next year, in the following, and senior year. So he's going to do good things, and he's definitely a name to keep an eye on. So Jackson McWilliams. And then next up, Preston Troy.
All right, so I'm going to start talking about one senior who's not here, Duffett. He was one that he kind of showed up that first week a little late, had no idea about our program or anything, and I have to look back, but I think it was by week 2 he'd worked himself into special teams. He was just one of those guys, those role players that you have to have if you're going to be successful and make a run, and he plugged himself in, worked his way up the depth chart on defense, and was ready to go if he needed to, got some playing time towards the end of the year, but was on every special team. Did a great job for us his first year. So Gabe. All right, Gabe was one of the quarterbacks. He had a tremendous job. He had to prepare for a Lewisburg game in 24 hours. We got the news that everything went down that Wednesday. We weren't allowed to practice on Wednesday, so we came back on Thursday, and he had 24 hours to prepare for that game. That's not an easy thing to do, especially at the quarterback position. But he was ready, and he stepped up, and I thought he played well that game, and then he had a week to prepare for the #1 team in the state. I thought he did a great job. I thought he stepped in, and we were in a game. It was tied with 8 minutes left. There's all you can ask. So I thought he stepped up and did a tremendous job, and he was always ready to go. Every week he was getting all the backup reps, but if I knew if we needed him, he'd be ready to go. And then as the season he wanted to get playing time, so he even played some time on JV to get himself better. And I was proud of him for that, and he worked hard and helped those guys out and get better too. But sky's the limit for you. I'm ready to see you win a state championship in wrestling too. So, Gabe Bailey. When I got to look at these, I got a couple guys on here I'm really happy I get to talk about. Smar's one of those. From his freshman year to now, I think one of the, insane turnarounds I've ever seen with a kid. I mean, I couldn't be prouder of the way he's made himself into a man the last couple of years. Just to see where he started as a freshman or he is now, it's incredible. He's hard work. He's always been hardworking. He's always been here, ready to go. Excited to do what we needed to tell him to, and it was exciting to see now that finally hit where he could get some great playing time and do a lot for us. He stepped up. He played corner. He played strong safety. He played receiver. Whatever we needed him to do, he was ready to go, and he played tremendous for us. And he got more physical as the year went on and got more confident, and he was a great player. And to get to watch your story tomorrow is an honor to see where you come and where you're going to go, and it's not over, right? Proud of you. Tomorrow. This is the other one. Crazy from his, I think he was 4'4", 95 pounds when you came in. I don't know, something crazy. Tiniest football player I've ever seen in my life. But he was never afraid. Fear is not anything I've ever seen in that kid, ever. He would always get in there, and he might get trucked, but he was going to get up and do it again. And then slowly you saw every year he got a little bit better, got a little bit better, got a little bit better. And then, he was a starter for us. And I think, it was week 5 or 6 when it was finally, we were like, he's there. He's legit and ready to go. And I think one of my favorites all week against Lansing, you were the guy on the reverse, right? You were the guy on the reverse, and the first time they ran the reverse, he was there, and I think it was like a 3-yard loss or something. I don't know, he stuffed it. And, he played tremendous for us all year. He moved around, Heston went down, and it was just like, boom, right in. There goes Mitch, he knows everything to do, and he played tremendous. It was great. He was in our empty package, came in a receiver, made some big catches when we needed first downs that way too, and just all over the field whenever we need him, he was great. So to come from where he was as a freshman to an all-league player is tremendous. So to get to watch that is incredible. So Mitch, guys. Blake, last one here. So I'm gonna try to be as calm as censored as I can on this, but our league, for whatever reason, doesn't have an all-league quarterback. So it really upsets me. So the best quarterback the last 2 years, he's led our league in passing touchdowns, passing yards, whatever category, is a second-team all-leaguer, and it's crap. Okay? It just is. Okay? I don't know how else to put it. He got shafted in that, and he deserves to be. He's been the best quarterback in the league and on the eastern side of the state the last 2 years. I'm going to get to talk about some more of those stats later on, but not only the things he does on the field, but it was off. We started, I think it was we were 2 weeks into our, the shutdown, and we were texting, and we were you bored? And we were yeah, and all right. So we started to try to figure out Google Meet before everybody was doing it. It actually was a terrible disaster the first couple of weeks, but we finally got it, and he'd get on, and Trevor, and then Sam, and I think we kept ourselves sane those first couple months in quarantine, but he was learning, always learning. When we were in school, he was always in my classroom, just trying to get better, watching film, doing the little things, and I knew he was going to be successful this year. I knew that he was going to do great things, and he did. He exceeded all of my expectations. We're going to miss him. It makes my job easier. Half the time I wasn't really even calling plays. He could check out of anything that he needed to, and he was going to throw the ball more than I did anyway. So I don't know how many times I was like, what is he doing? And then we'd score, and I wouldn't say anything about it later. So he's a tremendous leader, captain for us. Can't say enough about him. So Blake, coach.
Yeah, full screen. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I know I'm not watching the football game. It'd be nice if I could, but I'd rather be there than sitting in this recliner. But the ones I'm talking about, I'm gonna start with Tyler Bowden. Tyler couldn't be there tonight. His dad let me know as soon as I sent out the email that he couldn't be there. He was going to be out of the country. Tyler did a great job for us coming in from Free State, and You know, he was willing to do whatever it took. You know, he didn't come in expecting anything. You know, he expected to earn everything that he did. And, you know, I'm going to let his accolades speak for himself. I mean, you know, he was #1 in the state in rushing, you know, all class, you know, #1 in 4A, #1, 5A, 6A in all class, led the state in touchdowns, #3 in the nation in rushing, and just did a great job for us coming in. That's Tyler Bowden. And I know I've got an echo in here, so maybe I'll unplug these. But next one, I'm talking about Sam Clydesdale. Go ahead and stand up, Sam. You know, Sam, you know, I can't really say what position Sam plays because he plays them all. You know, offensively, he plays the Wildcat quarterback, he plays the slot, and brought him back in as the running back. Defensively, we have him as a rover. We move him down like a strong safety type. He had to know how to play free safety, but did a great job. I mean, he's got a motor, that he's got a vision, that he sees things before they happen. I'm yelling at him and he's making the right decision. Just great vision, and we look for his leadership in the future. You know, and I'm gonna talk about all these guys that I'm talking about. I'm gonna talk about more in a little bit, you know, as we go into the accolades. You know, Sam's one we got, you know, that we got to have in the future. He's gonna be our leader of the future. So great job, Sam. The next one, Heston Robbins. You know, both of these guys are slashes. You know, Heston started out with me as a running back as a freshman and sophomore year. We moved him to a receiver, did a great job as receiver. You know, he started at strong safety for us last year. We moved him over to free safety, told him he had to know rover, you know, played him at corner some, so he had to know every position on the field. You know, and, you know, Heston, we told him when he got injured, you know, and during the Piper game, that we're going to play long enough for you to be back. And we call Heston our miracle God, because, you know, last year he did something to his thumb in the Lewisburg game and thought he was going to have pins, thought he was going to have surgery, and didn't end up having to have surgery and came back the next week. You know, we used him as one of his miracles. And then the quickest recovery in collarbone history, I think. They're supposed to be like what, 42 weeks or 42 days, and he comes back in 26 days and ready to play, and then played again and had to play quite a bit. When Mitch got hurt in the Miege game, he had to come right in that game and did a great job. So not only resilience, he's a leader, he's a team captain, and you know, I can't appreciate it enough. Heston, thanks. Heston Robbins. Now Coach Morgan's going to come up with starting our awards.
Okay, so this first award that we're going to give out is Scout Team Offense. And what this is it's a scout team that's playing defense for our #1s on offense. Okay? So what they do is, on our scout team defense, they are the defense for the team that we're playing that week. And this is going to go to the best scout team defensive player for our scout team offense, or for our #1s on offense. Okay? Now this player was one of the most improved players throughout the season, throughout his career here, and he did a fantastic job at filling in wherever we needed him to on any defense that we were getting ready to play. He could play outside linebacker, he could play corner, he could play a rover or a safety type. He was all over the field every single week, willing to give it 1,000%. And that made him a much better player on defense as the season went on as well. The winner of the scout team offense is Tamar Brown. Stand up. Yes, Tamar. Okay, and again, all these awards are be up here for you guys to get at the end. Okay, the next one is special teams offense. Okay, so this is a special teams player who would go out on kickoff return and Landon Wood. He would go out on PAT and do his job. He would do every single special teams thing right. No matter where he stood, he would always be there. Okay? The winner for the special teams offensive player this year is Jackson Stevens. And then my last award that I'm going to give out today is our 110% award. And this goes to the player who has given effort every single day of the season. And I used to have a coach that said there's only 3 seasons: football season, bowling season, and pre-football season. He was also the bowling coach. Okay? But this player has gone all the way through his entire career with a mindset of giving 110% every single day. Whether it's the 7 a.m. workouts, 6:45 a.m. workouts, the workouts over at Coach's house, okay? Every single day in practice, 110%. Every single day. Okay? No gas, no brakes, all gas. That was bad. I'm sorry. Okay? But the winner for the 110% award is Sam Feinstein. Coach Cheeroff is going to come up next.
All right, first award that I have is the Sack Attack Award for the team leader in sacks on the year. We had 3 tied with 4 sacks on the season, so it came down to total yardage by sacks. And so the winner of this award with 4 sacks for 34 yards, Tucker Isaacs. Next award I have for Scout Team Defense. This award just giving us the best what we can. Defensively, this player was able to play multiple positions, played outside linebacker, inside linebacker, safety, corner, basically anything but D-line on Scout Team. Offensively, could play tight end, wide receiver, and gave us some great looks throughout the year, helped get that first team better on a day-in, day-out basis, especially using his length against our receivers to make things difficult. But the winner of the Scout Team Defensive Player of the Year is C.J. Van Dam. And the final award I have is for Academic Excellence. This award given to the student athlete with the highest GPA. It's something that, as we go throughout the year, we're constantly checking grades. We're getting an update every Monday, having to make sure that that everyone's on the right track, doing the things that we need to do. And so we appreciate this commitment from these players to maintain a high GPA, to be as committed in the classroom as they are on the field and do everything that they need to do there. And this year, we've got 2 with Tucker Isaacs and Jared Lovell. And I'll turn it over to Paul.
All right. So first award that I'm presenting is Special Teams Defense, primarily for kickoff. I mean, that's Special Teams Defense there. So, it can also be some other things. But so when I think of Special Teams Defense, guys, this is what I think of. Who can I rely on that's going to go out there, bust their butt for me, make tackles, hit people in the mouth when I need them, just do whatever you need to do, just stop them from scoring. All right? 2 people, I could come up with 2 guys, okay? Couldn't pick between the 2 of them because, in my opinion, they're my 2 guys, and I've told them this before, that I will always have them on kickoff as long as the other coaches let me. Devin Spleakle, Andrew Colbert. Next one is Outstanding Receiver. I already talked about how we have so many outstanding receivers. So really to try to pick one is very difficult, and I couldn't really do that. So then I start to look at too, like how much improvement they have made, the work they put in, all that kind of stuff, and that's a ton more guys too. So the 2 guys that stood out to me that made an impact, that have made huge improvements,
that I could come up with was James Eaton and Bodie Strauss. Next one is Newcomer Award. This one, there are several guys that were new this year that made huge impacts for us. So to try to narrow it down to one was difficult, but we did. Really start to think about how much of an impact every single game it was. If we didn't have this person, how much we would have to change our game that we play. And the person that I came up with was Jackson McWilliams. And then the last one that I have is the school record, career rushing and receiving yards. So we know Dallas Bond, I'm just going to say it, Dallas will stand up. So Dallas has 1,491 receiving yards from sophomore year to now. And I'm telling you, he's the best receiver that I've coached in the 4 or 5 years that I've been coaching. Thinking sophomore year until now, when I was thinking about him sophomore year and stuff, coaching him, like this guy's he's gonna be good. He already is good as a sophomore, but he's gonna be really good. And so trying to coach him then and explain, hey, use your height, use your body, all that kind of stuff. He's like saying, I am, coach, I am. Really, he took that and every single year got better, and now he's mastered it, and he's going to Pitt State and scholarship. So, congrats, Dallas. Oh yeah, that was right in front of us. It was right underneath outstanding receiver. Outstanding DB. So, outstanding DB. We have several guys that fit this. Really start to think about how much of an impact they made for us in multiple positions. Really the knowledge that they have and how much work they put in. Really just what they provided us this year. And that goes to Maxwell.
Okay, we got Pancake Award. Had a lot of guys over the years get this. A lot of old linemen. These guys, guys, it's very exciting to be on that. About who being soft and block somebody. That's Dallas Bond. Most outstanding lineman. Talked about him earlier. He's our guy who glue up front. Great young man. And he's kind of our captain in the trenches and got us on the right page, and that's Jared Lowe. And then we got our BYA award. That's our Bust Your Ass award, and that is for our 4-year commitment award. And we'll just call off their last names. Bond, Robbins, Poggi, Maxwell, Lowe, Brown, Geiger, and Van Ann. Good job. That says a lot. We had down in the locker room since 2000. We started that tradition under Coach Elston, and we put the kids' names up on the wall for a 4-year commitment. And then we have school record in tackles. Let's guess who that is. Brandon Martin, stand up. Well done. And that's it. Right? Yep. Oh no, wait, I missed one. And then we also have the on the defensive side, our MVP defensively, and this guy would say it too. He'd give props, but to have a guy, and we know who this is, but to have a guy, B-Mar, stand up. To have B-Mar to be able to run around, and like I said, he would say the same thing as well, but to be able to run around. In our defense, we don't do a lot of games, a lot of blitzing. At times we do, but mainly we're about lining up correctly, understanding the situation before the snap of the ball based on formation, and letting those guys run. Teach them how to read, let them run and make plays. And of course, B-Mar did it all. But props up to the guys up front in front of me. The D-line did a great job of keeping people off of him and letting him make those tackles. But outstanding job, B-Mar.
kids that could fall under this category. This one in particular, probably like if you're gonna go by like actual size from freshman to senior year, that he probably is the biggest. But most improved player, Mitch Geiger. Okay, Big T kind of gave this one away already. Utility player, like he said, Wildcat quarterback, receiver, running back, kick return, punt return, DB, whatever. Played linebacker, I think, in some games. Sam Clyde. All right, we had some school records on the offensive side too. You know, Blake coming into the year already had the single season for passing, single season for touchdowns. But with this year, he is now the career leader with 3,140 yards passing and 36 touchdowns. So, Blake. And for the second straight year, we set the school record for rushing. Tyler had 2,583 rushing yards and 37 touchdowns. MVP offense, he's not here. He's probably in Mexico or something, right? Somewhere. But, you know, I say that there were so many weapons offensively, and I think Tyler would tell you the same thing. We could do pretty much whatever we wanted. It was, I really like, I don't think that I had much to do with any of the success as an offensive coordinator. I could hit a pen and say, Blake, run whatever you want, and most of the time he did, and we would be successful. And so, you know, watching Tyler do what he did was fun, but, you know, we had a lot of good pieces. So, but our MVP offense was Tyler Bowden.
Okay, this isn't an award, but they should get an award for all the things that they do that's unsung, that no one ever sees behind the scenes, from doing laundry and you know, getting yelled out when it's not their turn to be yelled at, for things that I see that they just did their job. They came in there quick. You know, Sarah and Hope, go ahead and stand up. You know, they're out there. You know, they're volunteer. You know, they didn't have to do as much on the field as they did in the past because they couldn't get us water. All they could do is fill water. But, you know, they can't, you know, they enjoy the summertime, can't wait to get started. They can't wait to be around you guys. And, you know, the things that they do Friday nights, before the game, after the game, putting everything up, getting everything out. I mean, they're just invaluable. And we couldn't do it without them. So, you know, Hope and Sarah, thank you. Okay, so now I'm doing the leadership award, and these guys go ahead and end up, and I'll talk about you. You know, Dallas, Blake, Heston, Jared, and Jacob. You know, these were your team captains. These are the ones that were elected team captains. But you know, I can't tell you what a great job that as a team you did at electing captains. Every one of these guys that are standing here were black shirts. They were perfect attenders. You know, at some time or another, they were all league participants. 100%, you know, they just did a great job. Young men of character, integrity, and you know, one of the best captain corps that we've had since I've been here as a group. You know, just true leaders, and these are your leadership of your team, and they set the standard high for what's coming in the future. So your leadership award goes to these team captains: Jacob Maxwell, Jared Lowe, Dallas Bond, Blake Poggi, Heston Robbins, and Mitch Geiger. Okay, so now we'll go into the postseason awards, and we'll start with All League. These are your All League honorable mention. Just stand up as I call your name. Honorable mention, All Frontier League at offensive line, Tucker Isaacs. Honorable mention, All League at defensive line, Jared Lowe. And honorable mention, defensive line, Connor Brew. second team All-League. Second team offensive line, Connor Brew. Second team defensive line, Tucker Isaacs. Second team defensive back, Heston Robbins. Second team quarterback or running back or back, whatever they want to call it, Lake Poggi. Second team multi-purpose, Sam Clydesdale. Okay, this is your first team All-League. At multi-purpose event, Mitch Geiger. At kicker, Jack McWilliams. At linebacker, Brandon Martin. At defensive back, Sam Clydesdale. At running back, Tyler Bowden. At offensive line, Jared Lowe. And at defensive line and tight end, Dallas Ball. These are your first team All-League representatives. Okay, instead of just list through all state categories, I'm gonna have people stand up and I'm gonna go through, these are all your all-state award winners, and I'm gonna go through their accolades. So Jackson McWilliams, please stand up, please. As you just saw, Jackson was the Newcomer of the Year Award, newcomer to our varsity program. You know, was third in the team in points, and second team all class 1 through 6A non-senior football team. Honorable mention All-State with the Wichita Eagle, and first team All Frontier League, Jackson McWilliams. Okay, Sam Clydesdale. As you saw, Sam was our 110% award winner, our utility player. He was honorable mentioned in 4A non-senior football player. He was honorable mention All-State for the Wichita Eagle at defensive back. He was second team All-Frontier League multi-purpose player, and he was first team All-League defensive back, Sam Clydesdale. Mitch Geiger. As you saw, Mitch was the most improved from his freshman year until now. He's a 4-year commitment, a BYA award. He was honorable mention All-State Senior Sport in Kansas, first team All Frontier League multi-purpose, and he was the team captain, Mitch Geiger. Heston Robbins. Last year, Heston was multi-purpose second team All Frontier League. He has a 4-year commitment to our program. He was honorable mention All-State Wichita Eagle defensive back. He was honorable mention All-State Sports in Kansas, second team All Frontier League defensive back, and the team captain, Heston Robbins. Jared Lowe. Most outstanding lineman. He's a 4-year commitment. Honorable mention All-State Topeka Capital Journal. Honorable mention All-State Sports in Kansas. Honorable mention All-State Wichita Eagle. First team All Frontier League. And he was a team captain, Jared Lowe. Lake Poggi. year, 2019, Blake was honorable mention All-State. He was second team All-Frontier League. Blake has a 4-year commitment. He has a school record in single-season passing with 1,743 yards and in single-season touchdowns, passing touchdowns with 18. He's a school record holder in career passing with 3,140 yards and 36 touchdowns. He was Midco All-Star Team, Midco Game Ball Co-Player of the Week, honorable mention All-Eastern Kansas Football, first team All-State Senior Sports in Kansas as a punter, honorable mention All-State Wichita Eagle quarterback, honorable mention All-State Topeka Capital Journal quarterback, second team All-Frontier League quarterback, and he was the team captain, Blake Posey. Okay, Brandon Martin. Brandon Martin, as you already heard, was a school record holder in single-season tackles with 157. First team All Kansas City Metro at linebacker. He is a Simone Award winner, the first in Tonganoxie history, the Bobby Bell Award. Wichita Eagle top 22 all class 1 through 6A. Midco Game Ball Player of the Week. He's on the Midco All-Star Team. First team All Area LJ World. First team All Sports in Kansas linebacker. 4A Defensive Player of the Year, Sports in Kansas. 4A Defensive Player of the Year, Wichita Eagle. First team All-State, Wichita Eagle linebacker. First team All-State, Kansas Football Coaches Association. First team All-State, Topeka Capital Journal. First team All-Frontier League, Brandon Martin. Next one's Tyler Bowden. Tyler's a school record holder in points with 224. School record holder in touchdowns with 37. Single season rushing record with 2,538. First team All-State Sports in Kansas, all seniors. Hy-Vee Player of the Week. Another Simone Award winner in the Frank Fontana Award. Not only did we get one, but we got two in the same year. First team All-Area Co-Player of the Year with Devin Neal from Lawrence. Football Coaches Association top 11, all class. First team All-State for Football Coaches Association at running back. First team All-State Wichita Eagle. First team All-State Topeka Capital Journal. Wichita Eagle top 11, all class, 1 through 6A. Topeka Capital Journal top 11, all class. First team All-Eastern Kansas Sports. Midco All-Star Team. Midco Player of the Week. Children's Mercy Player of the Week. First team All-Frontier League, Tyler Bowden. Okay, before I read this last one, this young man I've known for 9 years. He's been a part of our program for 9 years. And it's been special. You know, Dallas, go ahead and stand up. You know we're talking about you. You know, I've seen him from a ball boy. I've seen him grow up in our program. And, you know, I still remembered him as this pudgy little fourth grader as we came into the program. You know, he's kind of slimmed down a little bit since then, you know. And just epitome of hard work. He worked his tail off. And Dallas, we're going to miss you. It's, you know, it's bittersweet to see all the accolades that you're getting. and to see what you've done in this program. So, 2019 honorable mention, All Frontier League receiver. Now that we know that was a joke, not on his part. 2019 first team All Frontier League defensive. 2019 school record holder, single season with 660 yards. School record holder in career receiving touchdown for 22. School record holder in career receiving with 1,491 yards. He's a 4-year commitment. He's Sports in Kansas top 100. Bobby Bell Award nominee for Simone Awards. Honorable mention All-State as a wide receiver, Wichita Eagle. Minco All-Star Team. First team All-State, Topeka Capital Journal, defensive end. First team All-State, 4A All-Seniors at tight end. First team All-Area, LJ World. First team All-State Wichita Eagle defensive end. First team All-Frontier League defensive end. First team All-Frontier League tight end. And he's a team captain. And he is your MVP overall of 2020, Dallas Quan. You know, I'd like to thank all the parents that attended. This was an interesting year. It's and it's the epitome of me sitting here in a recliner instead of being there in person. And it's tough for me to be here instead of being there. But I want to thank all the parents that helped out. We didn't have team meals, but we had the support. We had, week by week, we didn't know what was going on. Are we going to play? Are we not going to play? We've been blessed. We were blessed to play 11 games. We never set out 1 week of not playing as a team. With individuals that had to sit out, but as a team, we rebounded and played well. To play 11 games in a year like this, where we thought we may only get 4 or 5, we were truly blessed. Every day that we got to practice football, we got to play this game of football. And, as this lingers on, COVID-19 lingers on, we're going to do the same as we get into off-season, as we finish our winter sports, as we go into spring sports, as we go into summer sports. We're going to take it one day at a time, and we're going to thank God for every day that we have, because every day that we had this year was a blessing. And you guys are a great group, and year in and year out, you hate to see players come and go. I'm gonna hate to see you guys go, and I'm gonna miss you. I miss seeing you now on a daily basis. And we talk about being family. You captains, you seniors, man, you've been a blessing. I've loved every part of it for 4 years. And I just thank you for all that you've done for this program. I thank the coaches. And, as we're finishing up, we're putting an end to the 2020 football season. I'm looking at the things you got beside you there, Blake. I think you got some other business that you want to do right here. So am I turning it over to you? Is that what I'm doing?
That's fine.
All right, it's all yours.
Got some coaches' gifts. First coach I got here, Coach Tiroff. Yeah, we got Tiroff some protein powder and a blender bottle because he's always talking about working out. And he always makes fun of me for being small, so now he can finally be bigger than me. Next one I got for Little T. I'll just open it for him. So Little T always wears long shorts like down to his shins. So we got him some shorter shorts. And we all know Little T likes to watch films. So now he can watch it in style at home on the couch with his iPad.
All right.
All right,
Morgan sometimes comes to practice with some gloves on, so and we always kind of make fun for his gloves. So we got some new gloves.
Right.
And we also got him a little toy sheriff because he used to be a cop. So. All right, next up is Morgan. J-Lo kind of did this one. First up, we got this champion belt. He said he's a state champion. Just not using that. All right. In case you can't read your thing in the house.
Gift right there.
The first one is for Big T. We got Big T a first aid kit because one day during summer he hit his head on the tent when he started bleeding. And then we got him an emergency poncho because we know how our captain's retreat went.
Yeah, I'm surprised we were able to get all these quarter covenants in.
Then we got Bond.
Oh, wait, I'm getting up there, man.
We got Bond.
Take cash only.
A tiny to fart gun.
Why would I need this when I got the real thing?
And then we got you.
Oh! Can't go wrong, Starburst. There you go. Okay. Coach, anything else?
Hold on.
Oh, you got one more. Oh, wait.
The
Okay.
seniors some gifts.
Okay.
So I want to start up with Will. We got him this custom belt with his initials in it.
We got Bodie. We got your pair of handcuffs from all the touchdowns you've been robbed of.
J-Lo, so I've noticed we're playing with you a lot. I talk to you, you won't say anything to me. And I always thought maybe it's because you're quiet, but I just don't think you can hear well, so I got these Q-tips for you.
Jackson, on kickoff, you're always getting into it, man. So we got you something to, get yourself a little more prepared for next time.
That's the one thing I always remembered a lot. And I kind of have the same hairstyle, so it's kind of. But so I always remember that you trying to cut your hair, so I got you some fancy scissors for you. I'll make sure your bullets are not so fine.
Tamar. You're 1 yard from having that pick six.
For James, I got him two things. These stupid things you always choose on. And I was nervous for the passes and catch, so I got him these custom-made gloves with some good grip on them.
Dallas, always dancing and singing. You're in control of the music in the locker room.
He's a TikTok star.
TikTok, I'm famous. We got you in mind.
For Mitch, you hear this a lot. He's kind of small, he's the base guy on the field. So I got him this shirt, Sriracha, small and feisty, just like all Sriracha.
Maxwell, you had a lot of cramping issues earlier. So we got you some pickle juice.
So this is BMO's first season here, and he used to play for Piper, so he was a Pirate once, so we got him some eye patches. grab some work gloves.
There you
Oh, it's
go.
all work. All right, you got them all?
Yes, sir.
Good, okay. Anything else, Coach? That's it. Okay, guys, thanks for coming out, man.